The vibes at Eagles training camp right now are sky high. I remember a time in recent memory where the Eagles had this kind of vibe. It don't matter about the outside noise. It doesn't. All that matters is the vibes in camp amongst the players and coaches is on point, and it is. We're going to talk more Eagles training camp, more news and notes from practice too. I dug up the practice schedule for the Eagles. We're going to talk about that difference as well. Phillies must win series this weekend at home against the Cleveland Guardians. We'll talk about that. And I got a fun movie topic for later in the show. Trending in the AM. We're live with all your thoughts and opinions in 60 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Football Friday edition of Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. We are live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You know the drill wherever you are watching. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow, retweet button. Just get out there and tell one, tell all to get in the conversation today as we have lots to talk about today. We are going to talk day 2 Eagles practice and how sky high the vibes are right now in Philly at the Nova Care Complex, how everybody is on the same page and rolling this morning. So we are going to talk about the Eagles vibes and all the news and notes from training camp. And, I did some digging and I got the practice schedule of the Eagles handy. So, kind of dive into how they're taking it a little different this year. And rightfully so. So we're going to talk about that, of course. Phillies related. I truly believe that this series against the Guardians this week is a must-win series for our Philadelphia Eagles or Phillies. Man, I need to reset myself here real quickly. But let's get this right. The Phillies versus the Guardians must-win series. So we're going to talk about that. And I came up with a fun little idea for a little movie conversation related to Philadelphia sports for later in the show. So you got to stay tuned for the little movie conversation that I'm going to throw the curveball with later in the show. So you got to stay tuned. It's going to be a blast, guys. But like I said, you've got to hit that like button, that share and subscribe button. You got to do it. You got to get involved. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. The coffee. I see your comment, Judd. It's right here. It's hold on. All right, now I'm better, okay? Now I'm ready to roll this morning. But make sure you guys find me on all social media platforms at Bearded Knowledge. Good morning to you, Judd. Good morning, Adam. Thomas is in the house this morning. Good morning to you. There, I took a sip of my coffee. I'm good to go. And Thomas already knows, without me even hinting too much. Thomas already knows. Deadpool Wolverine came out, I guess, last night. I haven't seen it yet. I don't want any spoilers for those that have seen it. But it got me thinking Deadpool versus Wolverine, and I got an idea for a fun conversation. We'll get to that later in the show, for sure. So save that Deadpool, energy, Thomas, for later in the show. Let's talk Eagles to start the show. Phillies are there if you want to have that. I'm throwing that out there to the commenters. Is this a must-win series before the trade deadline. If they don't win the series, might make Dave Dombrowski overpay. We've already seen a couple minor trades in the last 24 hours in baseball, none from the Phillies. So that's on the table to converse about today. But Eagles' second practice of the season of training camp yesterday. Vic Fangio spoke before practice and was brutally honest on every question asked of him. Then they went out there and practiced, and there's a lot of information we've gained in the first 2 days of training camp this year. So much information, offensively speaking, defensively speaking, leadership speaking, the constant use and mixing of a lot of players in different positions. Keely Ringo got some time with the ones yesterday. John Ross was the starting slot corner slot, wide receiver yesterday. Jordan Davis had an excellent practice. Cam Jurgens is impressing. Lots of quality information from yesterday's second practice of the season. And I want to bring something up here. Hold on, what do we got here? Devin White calling out people at practice is perfect. This wasn't what I was going to get to first, but on the defensive side of the ball, Devin White, I was impressed with the fact that Devin White started a group chat just between himself, A.J. Brown, and Jalen Hurts and called it accountability. And the three of them are sending each other motivational messages and talking about leadership and all that stuff. Devin White hasn't even proven whether he's washed or not, like some would say. But Devin White's proven the leadership, the fact that he was on the Bucs when they won their last Super Bowl. The experience and championship pedigree of Devin White already showing on this team, which makes the addition of him, what did we sign him, a 1 year, like $6 million deal? The addition of Devin White is already paying dividends. You've seen the Kobe Dean practicing better, being in better shape. You see the defense as a whole looking different and being different. So the experience is there. The championship leadership pedigree is there from Devin White. And now we get to see whether he can actually still ball or not. And I haven't heard anything negative about Devin White from practices yet. Trotter Jr. got banged up a little yesterday. It turns out it was most likely a cramp. But whenever you hear carts being brought out to pick up a player on the second day of camp, you get a little nervous, you get a little scared, but it seems like it was no big deal. I did see that one of the Rams starting cornerbacks already tore his ACL, and you just hate to say it in the first couple of days of camp, people getting hurt. On a side note, the Rams are now the first team that need a cornerback, and we've got somebody by the name of JB that might want a new spot to go to. Just throwing it out there. But you love to see this, Thomas, about Devin White and what he's doing. Yes, Judd, you love it. It's so fantastic that we've got that we're missing the Fletcher Cox leadership now. And it's very hard for a new player to come in and immediately be a leader on a team. But when you've got a championship ring on your hand already, it kind of gives you a little bit of more swagger, a little bit more onus in when you say something, when you go out there and call somebody out, like Thomas says, it holds a little bit more weight. So far, everything I'm seeing and hearing from Devin White, gotta love it. You got to love it. Yeah, I thought I was 99.613% sure he was on the Super Bowl. Well, he played 5 or 6 years in Tampa, and they won their Super Bowl in 21. So, yeah, he was definitely there for that. Talk is cheap. Absolutely. I get that. But right now, talk is all we got. Till week 1 against Green Bay and Brazil, all we got is talk, Barbara. That's it. So right now, we're taking notes from beat reporters. We're taking notes from press conferences, and we're just hoping what we're seeing and hearing will translate. And they got a much different practice routine to start this season. Last year, a lot of the practices were 55, 60 minutes long. We're 70, 75 minutes long now, first 2 days, and it doesn't sound like much, 15, 20 minutes more practice, but it does. They've got 9 full practices in the first 16 days of camp scheduled versus last year having 8 in the first 17 days up to that first preseason game. Again, one more practice and one less day doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a different tone. And I just actually shared this on Twitter, so I could probably find it super, super fast. I don't know why I never looked this up before, but this was courtesy because I want to make sure I give credit where I get stuff from. I don't want to be one of those guys that gets entire articles written about them. But this is the practice schedule of Nick Sirianni so far over the last 3 years. And this is what's scheduled. You know, it's less practice days, more practice. Before that last preseason game, you've got 4 straight days of full practices in about a week and a half. This is what we've talked about all offseason. Would Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni and Jeffrey Lurie and the coordinators be setting a different tone during camp to set the tone, to set the discipline level a little bit more? And you see with this schedule on the right column here, 2024, practice, walkthrough, practice. 4 days. Last year, they had 2 practices and a walkthrough and then already got a day off. They had 3 practices last year in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They had 4 practices. It took 8 days for them to get 4 practices in. 10 days to get 5 practices in. We're going to have 5 practices in the first 20 minutes of camp. So you love to see this adjustment from what they are doing. Look at that. I got a Fairway to Heaven background up there. Let's switch that to a trending in the AM background right there. But you love to see these adjustments. Need a defensive leader. Tackling has been a problem in the last season. Absolutely, Thomas. No doubt about it. The tackling has been a problem. And that is what you're seeing with this schedule. You're looking at a more disciplined approach at getting ready for the season. You also heard Vic Fangio speak yesterday. He's not going to accept poor tackling. Now let me stop this share screen. You guys want to see my pretty face. Let me get that back up there on the screen. Vic Fangio spoke yesterday, just brutally honest about every player he was asked about. And he was asked about Bryce Huff. And I brought this up multiple times. Can Bryce Huff be that every down guy that Hassan Reddick was? Can he play the run? Vic Fangio was asked about Bryce Huff and the increased role that Bryce Huff is going to have this year compared to last year for the Jets. We all know he's an excellent pass rusher, but can he play 70? I think Hassan Reddick was right around 75% snaps played last year. Bryce Huff was under 50. It was like 46%. Vic Fangio was brutally honest. He's not there yet. He's got the talent and the ability, but he's not there yet. And the fact that Vic Fangio was so openly honest about that. Jordan Davis has to stay in shape. Very openly honest. Exactly what we're saying, exactly what we're thinking as Eagles fans. Vic Fangio is just out there saying it. And not in a mean way that's going to start problems or divide a locker room. Just being blatantly honest. And it's something refreshing. You don't want your head coach to be that honest all the time. But a defensive coordinator in a city that loves smash mouth defense and hard hitting, you love to say it. Yeah, that's right. Braville. I pronounce the Z in my head, just so you know. I still have a bad taste in my mouth from the last 2 months of last season. Cox and Kelsey had rings. Where was that leadership? Well, where's that leadership? Jordan Mailata spoke yesterday after practice. And what did he say? Can we stop bleeping asking about last year? I'm ready to move on. We're ready to move on. We are moving on. Jordan Mailata said that there was a report from one of the beat reporters, I forget which one, or I would give them credit, that the offensive line had too many false starts on it yesterday. So he got all the offensive linemen together. Not Lane Johnson, the vet. Jordan Mailata gathered all the offensive linemen and made them run, what are they, the sprints. Because it's not going to be acceptable. That's leadership right there. Jordan Mailata trying to move on and Jordan Mailata holding the offensive line accountable. Is there anybody with a crazier story than Jordan Mailata? I mean, this guy came to Philadelphia, 2017, 2018, had never played, seen, been a part of anything football related in his life. never even watched a football game in his life. And he's out here, the ultimate leader of this offensive line and this offense already from minute one. I think it's crazy. I think it's insane how amazingly great of a football player, a leader, a locker room guy, a singer, that Jordan Mailata has become before our eyes. Like, he literally just started playing football like 6 years ago. And he is already the centerpiece of this offensive line. Is it crazy to say that? It's insane. That's right. I know. I say it all the time that talking practice is up there in one of the most top 2 or 3 most overused cliche sayings in sports. But it's training camp. We got to talk about practice. I guess a group chat isn't much, but it's a start. Look, the group chat, maybe I'm overreacting to it in an exciting way. Let's get a little bit more coffee and caffeine in the system. Maybe I'm overreacting a little to it, but I don't think so. Because we do need people to stand up and become leaders on this defense and offense. Devin White is doing that. Good morning, Vietnam. What's up, Duck? How you doing today? Judd, he's trying. I'll give him that. Look, trying is better than not trying. You mean organized and structured. Silly to us to think that you need discipline and structure. Yeah, silly for us to think that. Silly. But we do need that. And we are getting that this year. I think even Nick Sirianni realizes that his laid-back, lackadaisical approach to training camp was too soft last year. And maybe part of the problem. Now, we don't want to get players hurt in camp. Obviously, that would be very disappointing. But you want to get everybody ready. You've got to find that fine line in between keeping people healthy and getting them prepared. And we're going to see. Davey Vic's press conference yesterday, it's exactly what we needed. A little punch in the mouth kind of firmness from a coach. Vic, I wish Vic watched this. I wish I had Vic on here. I don't know. I got some great guests lined up for next week and the week after that. Maybe maybe one of the top 3 biggest guests I've ever been able to land coming up in about 2 weeks. 2 really good guests for next week. Man, we got some football talk on the horizon on this show. Still hammering out the final details of the big guest. I don't know if it would be bigger than Ron Jaworski when I had him on years ago. Wouldn't be, maybe not as big as when I got to interview Trey Thomas, but up there in the top 3 or 4 biggest named guests I've ever had on here. It's in the works. We're working on the final date. Maybe next week I'll know that final date and be able to announce it. I'll be honest, Jordan Davis still looks fat. Jordan Davis is always going to look fat. The guy's 17 feet tall, 600 pounds. He is literally the spawn of Andre the Giant. I bet you he could sit down and drink 160 beers or whatever the record that Andre the Giant was. Jordan Davis, while you say looks fat, there is video from camp circulating yesterday of him chasing down Jalen Hurts. Gets pressure up the middle. Jalen Hurts slides out to the side. Jordan Davis stays step for step with him. I don't care how fat you look. As long as you're athletic, there's a such thing as being fat and athletic at the same time. Ray Lewis talked about our tackling. He seemed upset. Our tackling was atrocious last year. There's no doubt it. Especially from people like James Bradbury and the secondary as a whole. It's got to be better. But we got people like Devin White now trying to pull everybody together. Jordan Mailata. I want to know who on the defense, if they have a bad practice, is going to organize wind sprints for the defense. Like Jordan Mailata. Could you imagine Jordan Mailata going into the offensive line group and be looking at Lane Johnson, a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, like, yo, we suck today. You, including you, we're all running right now. We're not done yet. Practice is over, but not for the offensive line. Get your running shoes on. You know what kind of cojones it's got to take for a guy that's been in the sport of football, not on the Eagles, the sport of football for 6 years, and says, you, a Hall of Famer, we're running right now. Not acceptable. Yeah. Well, look, I didn't know Barbara. Barbara wasn't part of the core 12 back then. There were a lot of people, Darth. I've been doing this show for a long time. I feel like I got a voice of the people here. I hear what people are talking about, and I get a good understanding of where Eagles fans' vibes are on a regular basis. And let me tell you something. There was a lot of negative vibes in this show alone, in the comments of this show alone, last year when the Eagles were 10-1. Because people could see the sloppiness of it. People were saying we won despite X, Y, and Z. So there were questions last year, even when we were 10-1. Yeah, I don't want to say he doesn't like Huff. What I want to say is that he was given Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff, let's be honest, I've said it since the day we brought him here. He's been in the league for 4 years. He only has played and had one successful season last year. And he played under 50% of the snaps on defense for the Jets. So he's replacing a key cog on this defense, one of the best pass rushers in football, someone that's still holding out. But can he fill that void? And if he can't fill that void, who is going to pick it up? I put out just a random question on Twitter last night, and the answers are like all over the place. Who is going to lead this Eagles team in sacks, and with what number do you predict? And very few people said Bryce Huff. Very few people predicted a double-digit sack for anybody. When you're paying Bryce Huff $55 million or whatever that contract was, you expect 10 or 12 sacks. When you sign Bryce Huff to replace Hassan Reddick, you expect double-digit. Remember, what's Hassan Reddick had? Like 50 sacks over the last, or 40 sacks? Like, no. It was 17 the year before, 11. So about 28 sacks in the last 2 years. He's had double-digit sacks for over the last 5 years, maybe longer. Bryce Huff has to get better. Vic Fangio sees that. Vic Fangio doesn't dislike him, but I think Vic Fangio is trying to motivate him to be more. You can't rest on what you did last year. You got to do more this year. That's how I take it. He was just big as hell on an island. Yeah, that was Jordan Mailata. Sounds like Embiid. He never played basketball until absolutely. I think he actually came over and played like 1 year of high school basketball, Barb. I think so. But he was still, I think he picked up a basketball for the first time at like 15 or 16. Well, there was the guy that was drafted to an NFL team and didn't know he was drafted for like 50 years. He was on their roster for so long. I think I vaguely remember hearing this story. We have the best roster in the league. I hope so. That'll be a question for next week. Man, he doesn't run the ball, but he sing nice. Jordan Mailata's got a voice of an angel. Just need Jalen to step up. Jalen Hurts will step up, in my opinion. Jalen Hurts will rebound in 2024. Mailata's career arc mirrors Phil's meteoric rise. I had no experience. Never stepped behind a mic before my first show, which was the post-draft 2020, the debut episode of AAT Birds. Myself and Johnny Uleka. That was the first time I ever got behind a microphone. First time, well, for a podcast. Just so we know. So it is a meteor. 4 years, and look at me. I've got 20 of you watching right now. 20 of you suckers thinking I'm important. We literally have a garbage man who didn't play in the NFL until he was 30 play for us. That's crazier than a genetic freak rugby player playing for us. Okay. More like Good Morning South Philly. There you go. Good Morning South Philly. Maybe I'm going to write that. I got to write that down. I got to say that every morning. That'll be my intro now from now on. We're going to write it down. All right. Good Morning South Philly. Instead of me going all crazy with Brazil, I'll be like, Good Morning South Philly every day from now on. Andy Reid ran a country club camp too. He has changed it. People change. I get it. Too bad you can't get A.J. Brown. I wish. Now, we're not talking that level of guest. We're talking a major media member. Okay? That's who I'm working with. Baseless take. Phil get Billy Joel for his show to talk about his residency completion. Dude, I don't think, Duck, that I could actually interview Billy Joel. I mean, I've met some famous people in my life. I have interviewed famous people in my life. I've had great people on this show before. I think if I, even on a screen, not in person, had Billy Joel opposite of me on this screen, the geeking out I would do. I don't think I think it'd be the first time I'm speechless. I always get compliments and people that try to boost my confidence because I don't ever have I lack self confidence. I really do. That's a little personal thing there. But I always have people that in the business they're always like, dude, you talk literally for 90 minutes straight, respond to every question. How hard it is. I never stop talking for 90 minutes. Yet I think if Billy Joel sat opposite of me, I wouldn't be shocked if a tear fell down my eye if he was sitting opposite of me. He just needs to fall down, plug the hole. I can see CJ rolling the D-backs out. I'm not sure on that one. We got to remember how ugly that 10-1. Yeah, it was ugly, the 10-1 start. Good morning, little G. Good morning, South Philly. It was ugly, but someone, Barbara, says it's Kelsey and Cox not stepping up. Yeah, I did see people saying that. Vic, does he? I did not hear him say anything about Alex Hunt. I haven't heard Alex Hunt's name mentioned once from any of the beat reporters, K1. If you have, I would love to hear what you may have heard. Jalen Hurts did have a bad year. Well, I don't know about a bad year. I mean, Jalen Hurts was the betting favorite to be MVP after 12 weeks. Just take that into account. He was almost even money to win MVP through 12 weeks of the NFL season last year. So I don't know if he had a bad season. I don't know about Jalen Carter. One or two people said 9, 10, 11 for Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter might lead this team in sacks this year, but I don't know if it'll be that high. I don't know if Deebs and the crew are doing their over-under show. Been on it the last couple years. I'm sure there'll be a sack question or two on it. I would say that I have a feeling that 9 might be the max anybody gets on this team. Speaking of vets, man, Brandon Graham done. I mean, I brought it up for a second yesterday. He did officially, for those that missed it, announce 100%, without about a shadow of a doubt, this is his last year. This is his farewell tour. Love to see it. Just think about, we talk about Jordan Mailata and where he's come out of nowhere and become this leader, amazing football player, awesome person. Just remember Brandon Graham. We were 3 years into his career, calling him the biggest bust in Eagles draft history. And now he's a legend. He's an Eagles Ring of Honor. Guaranteed. He's not a Hall of Famer, but we don't win the Super Bowl without him. Brandon Graham has cemented himself in the history books of Philadelphia Eagles. History. When Ray Didinger updates his Eagles encyclopedia, I got one up there. Signed by the man, Ray Diddy. And that is not who I'm talking about having on, just so you know. There'll be a chapter added to this book in the next edition about Brandon Graham's career and the arc it took. Draft pick out of Michigan. Biggest bust. Levels out. Becomes an amazing player. It's crazy. Good morning, Eric. How you doing this morning? Jalen's attitude is starting to annoy me. I was behind the guy. What's wrong with his attitude? You're buying into the WIP narrative. And it's such bogus. Sorry, Darth. BG hasn't done much the last few years. I mean, BG is getting up there in age. He plays like 20% of snaps. So he's not here to do much. My man, Stevie Fuentes, how you doing today? Pooh, do you watch the games? Hurts' numbers were pretty good last year. I think he was a death spiral that we couldn't stop. It was like, what was that scene in The Replacements? What are you fearful of? And everyone's spiders and this and that. And Sugar Shane Falco, who cost me a ton at the Sugar Bowl that year, says quicksand. He's like, what? Once you start struggling, then you struggle harder and you keep sinking faster and faster. Then you can't get out. Then you drown. Then you're smothered. Pooh and Barbara. 2 days ago, there were 2 other people battling. It was Ryan Reese and I forget who the other one was. Today, Barbara and Pooh are gonna battle in the comments. Never called him that. Hurts was 7th in EPA play last year. He was bad the last 6 weeks, but he did not have a bad year. He was. So I've been preaching it. I've been preaching it, Anthony, and he's going to be an MVP frontrunner again this year. Just so you know. I haven't heard anything about Jalix, but there's a reason we drafted him in the 3rd round, and Vic was it. Yeah, look, I think there's potential. Jalix Hunt, to me, and not to bring the Sixers into the conversation, K1. Jalix Hunt is like a Dembona, a guy that's raw, super talent potential. but super, super raw. And we can't rely on him to be anything much more than a back-end depth piece for his first 2 or 3 years. You got to give this kid time. Maybe throw him out there occasionally on third down. That's not it. That's it. Ray signed my Eagles encyclopedia too. That was one of my friends. I didn't even know my friend was going to it. But one of my friends got it, bought it, got it signed for my birthday, and gave it to me for my birthday. So didn't even know he thought of me that close. Like that, I didn't know he liked me that much, my friend. Like that was something special right there. He just not used to losing. That's a fair point too. There. Oh, come on. We're all friends and family here. We're all here to get along. Nobody's attacking anybody. I just strongly disagree with your statement. Phil, Darth Pool's name says it all. He's a Sith just trying to instigate. Yeah. Oh, man. I love it. I love the name Darth Poo. I do. Going to go watch the Olympics swimming. I'm going to watch a lot of Olympics in the coming weeks. I'm a big Olympics guy. I look for the gymnastics, the swimming. I will watch more gymnastics and swimming this Olympics than I will watch men's basketball. Just going to say it. 1/3 of the season is bad equals 66% equals T-score. All right. Well, it wasn't all Jalen Hurts' fault. There was a lot of blame on the defense, a lot of blame on the coaches, a lot of blame everywhere. And I've been very adamant in saying that. The blame needs to be spread around to everybody, not just one person. Darth Poo, it really is. No offense to Judd Blankenship. That's an okay. When you think about Darth Pool and Judd Blankenship, Darth Poo wins, hands down. Jalen Hurts is going to pass Cam Newton in rushing touchdowns in half the season. Look, I think that's an interesting question, comment. Are we going to see less rushing from Jalen Hurts because of Saquon Barkley, because this offense maybe? So that's something to just think about. That guy was jumping all over me because I expressed my opinion. Oh, come on, guys. Barb, Darth Poo. Hug it out. We're going to have a hug out session on this show where everybody's got to hug it out. Okay? It is. It is. Sorry, Barb. It is. Alex is a dark horse superstar, Mike Meyer. Yeah, I agree. It's a dark horse superstar there. But it's not going to be this year, K1. It might not be next year. Alex Hunt's one of those guys you're going to have to give 2 to 3 years before you judge whether it's a draft bust or something like that. Yeah, you gotta be patient with somebody like him. The profile picture, it is. Track and field, I do like the track and field, the 100-yard dash, the shorter running. I don't do the long distance running, although I do put it on the background and play on my phone when long distance running is going on. I do. I won't lie, Thomas. I love the track and field parts like the long jump, the pole vault, that kind of parts of track and field. I'm all over that stuff. Love that stuff. Men's swimming team has a swimmer from Douglasville, PA. Hey, I had no clue about that. That's awesome. That's awesome. A local team. A local kid. Love to see it. I agree. Too early in the morning to be so. Yeah, come on. Let's just have fun, guys. I'm the Sith Lord of the honeypot. See, not only that, you also have jokes about what you are, and I love that even more. Well, you like Judd more, but is Judd Blankenship a better name than Darth Poo? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not mad. He's earned it. Judlin Hurts was a little bit better. I have a feeling that Judd, before the show's out, is going to change his name. And his profile picture probably at some point here. Probably. Anybody here how Albert O is doing? No, Adam. I think I did read CJ Uzma had a good catch yesterday. I heard somebody. What's the new Paul Turner? EJ Jenkins, is that his name? Has a chance. Look, Albert O will probably make the team. They invested in him. They gave him an extension. He does nothing for me. Aqua Bowman is nothing but a wasted spot. One of Howie Roseman's big misses. But Howie still likes to hold on too long to some guys because he just hates to admit when he was wrong. But we'll see what happens with the tight end. I'm actually curious what's going to happen with the tight end. Obviously, you got Dallas Goedert. We moved on from Jack Stahl. Still got Calcaterra, Albert O, CJ Uzma. We know that Dallas Goedert misses time every single year, Adam, and every single offseason. I'm sitting here saying, we need depth behind Dallas Goedert. Hell, TMZ last year. Oh, you got Dan Arnold. There's your depth. Dan Arnold didn't even make the team. Dallas Goedert, he gets the biggest pass on the injury front in the city of Philadelphia. He really does. So, I still worry about the depth at tight end a little bit. As a third rounder, basically drafted for far enough out that building him up over the next 2 years is vital. Absolutely. Why can't I think of the school he went to? Where did he go to school? He went to a small school, small football program. He doesn't even have experience in high, impactful games against huge talent. So, Alex Hunt's a name I just want to hear updates on just to see his progress. I want to see a video of progress from him because I want to see what 2 years from now he might be like. I'm curious. I'm optimistically curious about Alex Hunt. Darth Will may need to defend himself. Yeah. I see what you're trying to do. But it's too early for any ad reads. Oh, my God. It's 35 minutes in. Jeez. Oh, soon it's coming. Yeah. I know it's coming at some point. I really enjoy the middle distance running events. I think the 400-yard. I think that's the most I like to watch of straight running. But, yeah, long distance running, you just put it on the background and you kind of glance at it a little bit. You play on Twitter. You chit-chat with crazies on Twitter. And then you get back to it. Maybe. My main problem with the Olympics is I can't tell which events are live. It's fair. For sure. I like the diving as well in the Olympics. The diving competitions drive me nuts. Should be in everybody's Rolodex. It's too early. Oh, okay. Congratulations on a great episode of Fly Like a Bird's podcast last night. Mitchie Poo. Houston Christian, that's right. I was thinking Texas. Somewhere in Texas. I couldn't remember where, though, K1. So thanks for that quick information. Looks like you might be the Kenny Gainwell stan is turning into a Alex Hunt fan club captain right here. I'm waiting for trending in the PMS rant. I don't really have anything to rant about today. I don't. I'm coming up with something at some point. I don't got a rant. I don't got anything that's pissing me off today. I feel good today. Yeah, exactly, K1. The fencing. I watched I shouldn't say I watched a lot of fencing. I watched the gold medal round of the gold medal match of fencing last Olympics, and I was just enthralled with it. Goes back to the James Bond, the Pierce Bronson movie in the fencing club, and they just tear the place apart when they get into a sword fight. Bond and the villain in that. Tear it up. That always got me in the fencing. That movie turned the tides for fencing for me. I would love to try fencing one day. I really would. It would be pretty cool. Where are we at in a society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. What? I don't know what's going on there. Shakira Richardson. Who's that? 800 meters is a great event. Also, the 4x4 relays and track. Look, I love watching the 4x4s in the pool for sure, more than the track and field. Love the relay races in pool. Ran about Kyle Lowry. Why? Everybody knows I hate Kyle, that he's washed. In the 400, he's in the relay pool at 16. Man, crazy. I would pay to see Phil in fencing. You'd pay to see me get my ass whooped by an Olympian in fencing for sure. Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies. I think probably one of the most overrated, one of the worst Bond movies of all time. But it had great parts and scenes in it. The fencing scene / club fighting scene, fantastic scene. The car chase scene on the ice, a little unrealistic, but pretty cool. But probably, in my opinion, my least favorite James Bond movie ever. Just saying, Davey. Wow. Learn something new about Duck. Duck, where do you live, Duck? Can we set something up? A Duck versus Beard fencing match? I want to try it someday. Big Al will make it happen at Dolan's Bar. We'll do a fencing competition at Dolan's Bar one day. That would sell tickets. Oh, you men with your sword fights. I love it, Barbara. That might be the comment of the day. It really might be. Contention for comment of the day. And God. Yeah. Dude, one of my favorite, franchises, whether it's a movie, a TV show, a cartoon, growing up as a kid, I wanted to be D'Artagnan so bad. I wanted to be a Three Musketeer so bad. I love sword fighting. I do. I love pirate sword fighting, anything. It's always been pretty badass to me. You believe in Joe Hendry? Well, I believe in Fly Like a Bird's podcast. There we go. The Olympics don't even matter anymore. So much doping. That's another whole conversation for another whole day. We're already 40 minutes into the show. I don't know if we've got enough time left in the next, what do I got? 50 minutes to cover that conversation. I always say Darth Poole. I want to say Poole. It's Pooh. Darth Pooh. I always say there's the two most corrupt organizations. The Olympic Committee, International Olympic Committee, is the most corrupt organization in all of sports. Hands down, no doubt about it. Now, the last Bond movie was the shit. What? Die Another Day? I loved it. I was a little disappointed in what's-his-name's portrayal of the villain because he's such a great actor. And when I heard he was cast, I was thinking about him in Mr. Robot. And I'm like, man, that's going to be such a great villain. I love Daniel Craig. I think Daniel Craig is the best James Bond of all time. The most realistic James Bond of all time. Getting his ass beat nonstop. Gets shot. Gets hurt. I love Daniel Craig's James Bond portrayal. The president says it. Okay. The president? I live in South Philly. I've never fenced once in my life, Duck. So you still have a slight advantage over me in the fencing department. She getting that Hunter. Okay, gotcha. Is Katie Ledecky still projected to win like every other gold medal in swimming for the women? I like Connery and Daniel Craig as Bond. The rest were crap. Well, I think comparing James Bond villains and actors and movies, it's like pizza. Everybody likes one pizza shop or dislikes this. It's very subjective. I think Daniel Craig and Sean Connery are the best. I think Roger Moore is excellent. He's got some bangers. Problem is he did like 800 James Bond, and some of them fell flat. I think George Lazenby, his one Bond, was excellent. I think they all bring some different element to the character. So that's just Timothy Dalton. I mean, he even played the one with the drug kingpins and the Cuban. That was tough. That was good. Yeah, he did. He got that one right. I was going to say those two and the NCAA. I always put NCAA right there with FIFA as the number 2. I really, truly believe the NCAA organization is massively corrupt, for sure. But FIFA is pretty close too, yeah. They banned her for smoking weed. Who'd they ban? Some scumbags, basically. Yeah, basically. FIFA is also stupidly corrupt. Absolutely. He fucking played Freddie Mercury perfectly. He did. I was so disappointed in his portrayal of that Bond villain, but I think the story just wasn't there because the whole story was culminating. Spoiler alert if you didn't know, Daniel Craig's Bond dies at the end of Die Another Day. But the whole story was built around that crescendo of him sacrificing himself that I think it took away from the rest of the movie. You knew it was coming. You were hoping it did not come, and they left it open-ended. It's just, oh, man. Steven Seagal's fast arms. Where the hell did that come from? But okay. You don't remember the Oklahoma State football coach, Mike Gundy? I'm a man. I'm 40. No, I don't. It's cheap knockoff of the Floro. Sean Connery was good on Jeopardy. You suck, Trebek. Oh, man. One of the greatest Saturday Night Live characters of all time. Yeah, he did. The NCAA is a cartel that basically claps itself because they didn't regulate. Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, let's get back on track here. And you know how we get back on track? We get back on track by doing ad reads, okay? And now my mouse doesn't want to work. All right, we need a piece of paper under the mouse to get the ad reads up here. All right, first and foremost, we got the great SherryTickets.com. Why overpay with the rest when you could save with the best for your concert tickets, theater tickets, sporting events? Hey, Adam used the promo code. Hey, went to the Def Leppard concert in Hershey last night. SherryTickets.com. It's easy to use, has great prices, no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Use special promo code EOP10 at checkout. It saves you 10% off on top of their already great prices. So why overpay with the rest? Save with the best. SherryTickets.com. If you need a more personal touch, you can give them a call, 610-494-5050. Just let them know EOP, Trend the AM, sent you. Again, SherryTickets.com, promo code EOP10. And, of course, our great friends at PhillySportsTrips.com. Hey, you want to go see the Eagles take on the Green Bay Packers in Brazil in week 1 of the NFL season? Look, go no further. For any of your travel packages that you need to see your favorite team play, or if you want to go to a tailgate right here in Philly, check them out. Go to their website, PhillySportsTrips.com. Sign up. Let them know EOP, Trending in the AM, sent you. Might be too late to book Brazil, especially if you don't have a passport. Not sure if you can get one in time, but they got a great tailgate coming up in a couple of weeks down at Citizens Bank Park. Italian Heritage Celebration Day, and they got a guest at their tailgate, the great Mickey Morandini will be there at the tailgate. You can also pre-deposit to see our World Series champion Philadelphia Phillies defend their World Series crown starting in spring training in Clearwater in 2025. You can book that trip with them. You can go to Miami to see the Philadelphia Union or any of the other great Eagles takeover events. They got a great trip to Tampa in September if you want to go see the Eagles take on Tampa Bay. Bus trip to Baltimore in December. Or, of course, F Dallas Week in Dallas in November. PhillySportsTrips.com. Make sure you sign up. Make sure you let them know EOP sent you. And just like that, right back to the comments. We try to get it back to the Eagles. Dude, I got literally a whole page of notes here. And we barely covered a tenth of them. I still got a real movie question for the day that I haven't brought up yet. And nobody's talked about, nobody care about we're talking about practice over our number one team in baseball, Philadelphia Phillies. So I'm throwing it out there. Must win series for the Phillies today, this weekend. Must win series, in my opinion. I love it. I love it. Dude, the Alex Trebek, Sean Connery, Jeopardy, it's probably about 20 of them. Some of the greatest stuff of all time right there. Some of the greatest stuff of all time right there. I just thought of my baseless hot take. I did. That actor that played Freddie Mercury is overrated. What? Mr. Robot's fantastic. Freddie Mercury was a very good movie. He was fantastic in the Pacific, which was like the spinoff of Band of Brothers. They did one on the Pacific War in World War II. He had a great role in that. No way you could say he's overrated. I've never seen a bad thing he's done. VCP. VCP. Yeah. Yeah. It's like crack, yeah. It is. Cracking like an egg there, champ. Yeah, look. Did I crack? Where did I miss? I even missed it. You're all calling it out. I missed the crack. Or are you calling it out on my Brazil? That's always cracked purposely. I don't know. I missed the crack. I did. I missed the crack. What? 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 They're insane. Is this what we get on Fridays? Did everybody start hitting the bottle at 8:30 in the morning today? Seriously? What the hell is wrong with people today? Indians, Guardians have been losing a lot the last couple weeks, and the Yankees are in a free fall. We got 6 games coming up against those Indians, or Guardians. You got me saying Indians now. The Guardians and the Yankees. So, must-win series this weekend for the Phillies. Must win. Guardians are good. Do you see who's pitching for the Guardians tonight, Phillies fans? Ben Lively. Former Philly from 2017, 2018. Who did we get him in a trade for? Was he part of the Jimmy Rollins trade or the Chase Utley trade? He only had, before this year, like 14 starts in the last 5 years because he's been hurt pretty much the majority of his career. But he's pitching pretty well. Not lately, but pretty well this year for him. So you love to see that redemption story there from him, just not against us. Don't step on a crack. Yeah, I think he's trying to. I think he's getting a little. I think he was hitting the bottom. I know the saying goes, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, man, I don't know if it's 5 o'clock. I don't know if it's 5 o'clock where Davey is right now. Davey be trolling. I love it. I love it. I love it. We are playing 500 baseball since London. Not good. Absolutely agree with you, Darth. And it's not good. Not at all. Phillies need a wake-up call. Phillies need to stop coasting. Even if they coast and play 500 ball, they still make the playoffs. They still probably win the division. But I don't like seeing them coast like this. Skip loves Bobby D and Goodfellas. What? Who's Skip? Who's Skip? We don't mention that man's name here. I'm on vacation in New Hampshire. Robert, that guy, just watched a few DVDs with him in it. Well, enjoy your vacation. Look at you. I love when I see people on vacation still tuning in. I love it. I love it. It makes me happy. Zero range. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Guardians have been shut out at least 10 times this year. Wow. Who do we got going tonight? We got Christopher Sanchez going tonight for the Phillies against Ben Lively. Dude, I just had my man Jim, the realtor, message me last night. Who are we going to get at the deadline? I'm like, I have no freaking clue, John. Because there are so many damn rumors floating around on this Phillies team right now. I don't even know where to think. I don't know what's up and down and left and right. I don't know. Far too many rumors on the Phillies right now. This isn't a trade deadline fix either. This is 8 other guys need to step up. Step up or wake up. I think there's a difference in that. If you write that sentence again, wake up. Is that a different way to say it? Does that sound fair, Darth? Because they need to wake up. They think this is basketball where you can just flip a switch come playoff times. That's not the case when you're trying to hit a baseball. You can't just flip a switch. They need to wake up and start playing well again. I'll give them another week or two. But come August 10th, if they're still sleepwalking, I'll be criticizing them. Say the next 2 series. Sure. I'm just focused in the next 3 games, Steve. I'm trying to keep it smaller picture to wake them up. That's why I'm saying this series. It's a weekend. Football season's ramping up. The Phillies go out there and shit the bed again with everything going on with Eagles camp. The Flyers make him Travis. I haven't even mentioned it. Travis Konecky, 8 years, $70 million from the Flyers. Everyone said he was leaving. Look, there's so much happening in Philly sports right now. If they don't wake up, they're going to get pushed to the back of the line. No matter how good their record is. They got to make up. They got to win. Robert and Meet the Parents shows how much range he has, even though he did play a CIA operative, retired CIA operative there. Take the bait. I'm taking no bait. Raul Muto back. He is back. They are playing in isolation again. Yeah, I don't know. They got to wake up. Sean Connery and the greatest. Okay, I thought you were saying the greatest movie of all time. But yeah, I mean, it's hell of a movie. Hell of an action movie. Fantastic. Gotta love Sean Connery in that for sure. Great movie right there. I'd say the next 3 series are must win. I'd say the next 4 series are good. If you say 2 on somebody else says 3, I'll say 4. I'm just going to one-up you. We got to do one-ups at all times here on this show. And you know what? I just think there's going to be no segue today. We're just going to dive right into it because I can't wait to throw this next movie sports question at you guys. So, we're just going to finish the ad read right here for the best damn lawyer in the state of Pennsylvania. If you need a workers' compensation lawyer, if you've been in a motor vehicle accident, you're suffering from a personal injury or criminal law, and you need the best, you call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Law Firm. 610-565-0300. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Obviously, mention Edge of Philly Sports. Mention Training the AM when you call him. Hopefully, you guys never have to call David R. Cherry. But if you need a lawyer that's going to fight for you and get you what you deserve, this is the man to do it. David R. Cherry, the Cherry Law Firm. cherryinjurylaw.com. 610-565-0300. Check them out, guys. And with that, you're watching Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. Hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button, that retweet, follow button. Wherever you're watching, whichever platform, even if you're watching on replay, hit those buttons and share. It's free to do. It's free to support a local content creator. It's free to support a local channel. Everybody complains about the dial. We'll turn the dial off, plug and play us live here every single morning, 8 a.m. for 90 minutes, making your opinions actually matter. All right, I got to catch up on comments now after that ad read, and then I got a question of the day for you guys. Yeah, I think it's semantics. I just like the phrase "wake up." Step up to me sounds like I don't know. There's just something weird about the word "step up" versus "wake up." I almost feel like "wake up" it has a more negative sound or tone to it, and I want it to sound more negative. Jackie Chan is amazing. Amazing. Thompson is still a problem. If they continue to lose, if they play 50-50 ball for a little bit more stretch, we might have a conversation about Rob Thompson on the show again, Barbara. Oh, that's right. Oh, look, the child. Oh, my God. What the hell is happening in this world? My God. God damn it. By the Sword with Eric Roberts, best fence. I didn't know there was a best fencing movie, Jer. Yes, yeah, I bet you no one's called you Jer in a long time. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. Oh my God. What has happened to the world today? Oh my God. This is complete insanity today. Complete insanity today. Oh my God. I'm actually, I got a tear in my eye right now. Treadwater, it is really must-win situations. Yes, it is. Because you can't flip a switch, Nooms, in the playoffs for baseball. You can't. Oh my God. I don't know what's going on in my life. Is this really how I want to spend? I got to do some soul searching this weekend. Is this how I want to spend my life? Oh my God. Wake up is better, Phil. 2-3 against Cleveland, 2-3 against the Yankees. So wake up, Phillies. Absolutely. I agree. Best of the best, man. Leave the Phillies alone. Hey, the Phillies are treading water. Why do we want to leave them alone? Braves are drowning. Braves are falling apart for sure. Yeah. I don't know. Cherry surname, English and Scottish from Middle English. Hence that's some deep cherry name right there. Knowledge. All right, I'm going to get us off the cherry. All right. We're going to talk Philly sports. Fun question. We're going to continue talking Phillies. We're going to continue talking Eagles training camp. We didn't cover everything, so I could save notes for next week. But I am going to throw something else out there for the final 30 minutes of this show. And it's really simple. Deadpool, Wolverine, debuted last night. Haven't seen it. I actually might crack and go to a movie theater, which I very rarely do because I really want to see this. Or I'll find an illegal stream on my laptop. But Deadpool, Wolverine looks like a fantastic movie. Buddy cop kind of movie. Going to be rated R, which is a little different than the typical buddy movie. In Philly sports, let's say since 2000, well, we'll go back to even 95. Give me your Deadpool Wolverine team up of Philly sports. Two guys, the perfect good cop, bad cop, the perfect mix mash of personalities, the perfect teams in Philly sports history over the last 25 years, say. Who's the Deadpool and Wolverine in Philly sports over the last 25 years? The best team-ups in Philly sports over the last 25 years. And I got some names. I already started writing some names down for this. And this will be a Twitter thread later today as well. That's right. How about them Sixers? What about him? I'm so off Sixers basketball right now. I need off of that. Gives room for the Mets to come up, and they are coming up slowly. I honestly, Darth, I haven't even noticed that. I'll have to do a little dive on the Mets. Embiid as a trader. Stop. We're not talking Sixers basketball today. What is David Archer's favorite? Yeah. I'm trying to think of one of the lawyer movies. A Few Good Men, probably, or something like that. Or Philadelphia. Seen it at 10:30 day? Dude, I can't tell you. The last movie I saw in movie theaters was Die Another Day. That was the last time I was in a movie theater. I don't like movie theaters. I just don't. I don't feel comfortable in movie theaters. I don't. Even the new age of comfy movie theaters are not comfy for me. Rather watch things at home. That's just my opinion. Donovan T.O. absolutely on my list of Deadpool versus Wolverine, or Deadpool and Wolverine. Not the first I would think of, but I just thought of another one. I had to write it down. David Archer versus Big Sills. Iverson and Iguodala. I like that, but I had a different Iverson one. Okay? I had a different one. I was going to go with Iverson and Larry Brown. There's your Deadpool Wolverine. I mean, I put down Eric Snow, Iguodala, Aaron McKee, all paired with Iverson. But AI and Larry Brown. There's a tag team right there. That's a duo. Tim Eisenreich and Lenny Dykstra, yeah. Is that your Deadpool Wolverine one? That's a tough one right there. Charlie Manuel and Jimmy Rollins. I wrote down Jimmy Rollins' name, just like Iverson, and said, who is it? Charlie Manuel. I actually like the Charlie Manuel. I wrote down Rollins and Utley or Rollins and Howard. But Rollins and Charlie Manuel. I like it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is it Rollins and Utley or Rollins and Howard? I think it's Rollins and Utley because they were that double play combo in the middle of the lineup, in the middle of the diamond. McNabb and T.O. is going to get a lot of votes for sure. The Verdict, that was a great movie. I haven't watched that in a long time. I was going to say Christmas on Cherry Lane. What? The Firm, great movie for sure. McNabb and Owens, Lincoln Lawyer, Jimmy Rollins and Larry Bell. That's an interesting. The Rainmaker. Look, I got some ones here. I think the perfect Wolverine Deadpool combo should have been, could have been, still might have been Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Because Deadpool and Wolverine hated each other. They just teamed up for the betterment of the good of everybody. And Embiid and Simmons hated each other. And they tried. Ben Simmons out there choking out Karl Anthony Towns to back up Embiid, even though he hated Embiid. Literally making Karl Anthony Towns tap out. I can't take it anymore, Ben. You have me in the reverse choke. I'm glad somebody else brought it up, too. I'm sitting here talking about it. Dude, Simmons and Embiid are the ultimate Wolverine Deadpool combo, in my opinion. That is the first combo I wrote down. I wrote down Lindros and LeClaire. I wrote down Kelsey and Blank. I wrote down a lot of combos with Rollins and Allen Iverson. But Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, in my opinion, are the Deadpool Wolverine of the last 25 years of Philadelphia sports. My hallmark is running Christmas movies on. Oh, my God. Yeah, I like it. I was thinking of Nick Foles, and I was like, is it Carson Wentz? Is it Dougie P? Who is it? Is it Dougie? Is it Nick Foles and Kelsey? Who's it? I don't even know if there's a partner for Kelsey. Schilling and Mitchie Poo. The original. News bringing up the original Mitchie Poo in a comment. Deadpool and Wolverine hated each other, but loved Spider-Man. Yeah. Look, I think it's. I'm so excited for this movie. I hope it doesn't suck. So far, the rumors, from what I've heard, the reviews are fantastic on it. I hope it's not just the initial burst. Then it comes out that it's really not a good movie. But yeah. Deadpool Wolverine is Rodman and Jordan. Yeah, there's a Rodman. I would have gone more with Jordan and Pippen than Jordan and Rodman. I was trying to keep it to Philly sports related, Eric. But yeah, I get you. Yeah, I agree. That's why I went with Allen Iverson and Larry Brown. Everybody remembers the Allen Iverson. Where's my coach? Where's my coach when he was receiving his MVP award? People forget how much Allen Iverson and Larry Brown butted heads. But they got together to get the betterment, to get this team to the finals. Same thing with Charlie and Jimmy. I mean, how many times did Charlie Manuel have to bench Jimmy Rollins for not hustling? But they were thick as thieves as well. And they brought us a World Series championship. When I drove to the Philadelphia VA hospital for my colonoscopy, a reckless driver almost hit me. I was going to cuss him out, then I remember David Archeri has my back. He does. He does. Oh, my God, what happened there? I think 9 people commented all at the exact same time. Papelbon and Harper might be ooh. I mean, they legitly fought each other, and then we're on the same field battling together. It's an interesting one there, right there. Yeah, I love Christmas movies, but I can't get behind Hallmark Christmas movies, and I definitely can't get behind Hallmark Christmas movies in July. Just can't do it. Exactly. It doesn't suck. Oh, you've seen it already? Oh, I'm so jealous. I am. I am jealous, Thomas. I am. McNabb and Tio. Seems like McNabb and Tio are going to win, even though I think Embiid and Simmons. Mitchie Poo, should this be a poll? I know you love polls. I don't know why you love polls, but you love polls. It could be McNabb, Tio, Embiid, Simmons, AI, Larry Brown, and other. That would be my poll question. Probably if I ran it like a poll. Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce. Yeah. And to be honest, the Kelce's have 2 totally different personalities as well. Kelce and Kelce. I'm going to write that down. Kelce and Kelce. They have 2 completely, totally different personalities. People don't realize that. Yeah, absolutely. 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 It's a great movie. My fault. It's all right. You as an originator, as on the board of directors of the Core 12, Eric, you can make a mistake every so often. For sure. Man, you guys are on fire today. I'm just going to tell you. We've had a great Eagles conversation today. A little bit of Phillies talk. But, man, the comment section has been fire today. Where's Al Zafiri and Matty B when you need them to see a comment here? So here's the question for you, Noobs. Which one is Wolverine and which one is Deadpool? That's the question right there. That is the question to answer there. You're crazy. Tobias and Sixers fans. I don't know. I'm not feeling that one. Watch Hallmark with your wife sometimes. She'll, nah. My wife is not dumb enough. No way. My wife ain't into that shit. No. My wife chose Jack Ryan for the last thing we stream watched and binge watched. Okay? My wife likes the same kind of TV as I do. CIA, spy shit. That's what she likes. And that's why we're perfect together. Because when we're just, what do you call it, Netflix and chilling, we never disagree on what to watch. On a side note, has anybody seen Man in the High Castle? Because that's the next thing on our list that we're going to binge. That's the next one on our list. And that's something that's always fascinated me, the idea of that show. Never seen it. That's next. So far we've watched all of Jack Ryan, Yellowstone, and Jack Reacher. All the seasons of all those shows over the last 2-3 months. So next on the list is Man in the High Castle. I'm not sure, Duck. I don't have David Archeri on retainer right now to properly answer that question. Matty B and Patty Bernard, maybe. Matty B is not even like the Thanos. He's the villain, but he's the villain that loses in the first 5 minutes of a movie. And being Colangelo's burner account. Dude, the answers I'm going to get. Just wait till Joker 2 comes out. There's some courtroom scenes that look fire. All I'll say about the Joker 1 was I made a very big mistake, K1. I watched the Joker 1. I had partaken in a certain gummy type substance that I ate, and then I watched it, and some of the scenes about halfway through when that gummy started digesting into my system and hitting my brain, freaked me the hell out. I'll just say it right now. I had to go back and rewatch it a second time sober. We'll just say that to really, truly appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. BC's burner is Wolverine and Troll Embiid is Deadpool. Probably, yeah. You think David Cherry likes liar, liar. What's up, Brianna? Go Phillies. Ring that bell. You ever seen Joker? Well, that's what I just said. But I didn't smoke. I ate. I ingested, we'll just say. And let me tell you something. I freaked out. I almost flipped out of my recliner at one point. I remember rocking in my recliner during it and almost flipped over. I turned into Hallmark and Bravo all the time. Oh, man. That's bad. It's actually quite freaky. It is. It really is. Especially when you're high. The wife and I watch Hallmark all the time. You're such a sweet husband. I'm just glad my wife doesn't want to watch it. Just so you know. Oh, my God, guys. But what I do know, I don't know about that, but what I do know is the best Irish-American bar in Delaware County has been doing it for 65-plus years. Dolan's Bar, Ridley Park, 24 East Sellers Avenue. Great food, great times. Go in there. Till PJ and the crew. You heard about them right here on Edge of Philly, Trending the AM. There's so many things. We're going to have a Duck versus Phil fencing contest at Dolan's Bar. We are. We're going to do something like that. I don't know what's going to happen. But, guys, this is the place to go in Delaware County this weekend. If you need a drink, if you need to get something to eat, have a good time. They probably got live music, all kinds of things going on there. DolansBar.com, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You can find them on all social media platforms. Go in there, check them out. 65-plus years tells you they've been doing something right. You don't last 65 years without doing something right. There's CBCP. Dolan's Bar, guys, check them out. And make sure you hit that subscribe and follow button because 7-day-a-week programming right here on Edge of Philly. This is my last show of the week. I'll be back Monday for another Reaction Monday. But we still got shows all weekend long. Phillies postgame shows all weekend long. Steel Steps, the wrestling show right here on Edge of Philly Sports tonight after SmackDown. Passing Avenue Fanatics tomorrow morning. You got Attacking the Third on Sunday. PM in the AM on Sunday. Party on Broad on Sunday. All across all the time on Sunday. What other channel gives you this much content, this much variety on a daily, not weekly, daily basis? Make sure you guys are following Edge of Philly Sports on all platforms, guys. I'd greatly appreciate it. Duck's a good man. And I'm a terrible man, right? See, that was a little subtle dig by Barb that I'm a terrible man and a terrible husband. Dolan's Bar, David. We need PJ from Dolan's Bar to a fencing contest against David Archeri. I'm good at quizzes sometimes. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't deal well with pressure. It's test taking. I don't deal with pressure very well. I don't handle that pressure. I can't. It's just not my thing. Well, the ad reads are better because the segues and the jokes are better. Just so you know. How about Cherry at Dolan's? Why choose? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dolan's Bar needs to come up with a special David Archeri drink. Probably with a cherry on top. And just so you know, on a side note, I hate cherries. You ever give me if I ever get a sundae and they put a cherry on top of the whipped cream, I freak the F out. I hate cherries. Especially what are they? The maraschino cherries in that little slimy syrup. Terrible. I hate cherries. I love David Archeri. He would be my lawyer of choice, but I hate actual cherries. You don't know that. I might not be. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't seen a Dolan's Bar burner. No. Somebody's changing their burner right now in the Dolan's Bar now. That's going to be the new thing. The new thing on this show. All right, we're in the final 15 minutes of the show, guys. Eagles training camp. Any final notes before we wrap up this for the show for the week? On that, let me know. Phillies must-win series without a shadow of a doubt this weekend. 3, give me your Deadpool Wolverine combo in Philly sports in the last 25 years. Let me see. What else? I thought I had more written down here. I wrote down, Embiid Simmons or Embiid Jimmy Butler. I wrote that down. Lindros LeClaire. Nobody got excited when I said Lindros LeClaire. We didn't talk about it. K1, you always want Flyers talk. Anybody excited that TK just signed an 8-year deal to lock up and stay in Philly for a long time? I see some positives about it. I see some people saying negatives. It's too long. I see some negatives saying our salary cap is screwed now. I don't know. I want to know, K1, what you think of TK signing an 8-year deal. And did David Archeri help, facilitate the signing of that contract or not? Ew. First off, bananas are gross and cherries are gross. There's no worse things than bananas and ice cream mixed together. Disgusting. Sorry. I hate bananas more than any other fruit ever created by whoever created. Cherries just gross me out. They do. Dave Dombrowski and Ruben Amaro. That's a weird combo right there. Oh, man. How about Matt Klentak and Andy McPhail? Are they a Wolverine Deadpool duo? They're an alternate universe one that just die in the first 5 minutes of the show or the movie. Dave Dombrowski and Ruben Amaro. I don't know about that. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. All my ad reads are the perfect Wolverine combo. I'm confused on this one. Adam, by the way, how was the concert last night? Did you have a good time? Steve Miller, Led Zeppelin. Was it Led Zeppelin? I forget. Def Leppard, not Led Zeppelin. Def Leppard. Steve Miller, Def Leppard. I need a first-hand account on how the concert that you got the tickets through SherryTickets.com, one of our great sponsors. Need to know how the concert was last night. I'm just hyped about Mitchkov finally getting here. Absolutely. I love Danny Briere and Jonesy carrying his bags and his hockey sticks for him at the airport. I think that's hilarious. Like, let's not get like a chauffeur to carry the stuff. The GM and the president are carrying his stuff. Dude, he's here. And I love it. And I'm hyped for it. And TK gets a lot of hate in Philly because they've been bad, but he's here for the next 8 years. See, who says I can't talk Flyers talk on this show? I get Flyers talk in occasionally. I do. Occasionally there's some Flyers talk. Has a chance to achieve more likes like that Giroux, but goals, points, assists, not so much. Yeah, it's interesting. I'd heard rumors that he was going to be gone in this offseason, so it's interesting that he's not. He's a solid player that brings it. Dude, I saw my man Sean Bernard shared out the top 25 contracts currently in Philadelphia sports. And, man, when you look at Konecky getting an 8-year, $70 million contract, it's $8.75 million per. He's probably the highest paid Flyer right now. Dude, that's like what Matt Strom's getting paid out of the bullpen. It's like what Kyle Lowry's getting paid to be the third guard on this team. It's crazy what contracts are in different sports. I don't think me and you would have ever made it in a relationship, Barbara. I like way too much stuff that you don't, and you don't like. You like too much stuff that I don't. It just would never worked out between us. I'm sorry to break your heart. Trotter Jr. got carted off. Yes. I talked about this in the very beginning of the show. It seems like it was just cramps, mister. He got on the cart, then he did walk off. So thankfully, we may have dodged a bullet there. It was awesome. All three bands, Steve Miller Band, Journey, and Def Leppard, they all sound great live in concert. I got plenty of videos. Awesome. Glad to hear that you enjoyed the concert. Glad you got great prices on the tickets from SherryTickets.com. See, you're like the poster child for us now. Just don't bring up Carter. I already brought up Carter Hart in the group chat. Can every single person watching this get on the EOP leaders? Carter Hart's still in the banner on the YouTube page. Not sure why they haven't edited that yet. I know the memorabilia misspell is an inside joke, but come on, it's time to upgrade that banner and get Carter Hart off the banner of the show. They are coming back. That's right. The trajectory, the character arc of the Flyers is going up. Taking my 8-year-old son to its radar. Good or bad? Great. Big Al, we're having a conversation if you're just joining us. Who is the Deadpool Wolverine combo in Philly sports? And one lucky listener said it doesn't matter about who is in Philly sports, that Big Al and Matty B are the Deadpool Wolverine of EOP. I just don't know who's Deadpool and who's Wolverine out of you guys. That was the fake journey, though. What? I don't know. Maybe. You just Mitchy poo. Yeah. But yeah, let's put this to the poll. Should Big Al be taking his 8-year-old son to see Wolverine and Deadpool? And I say sure. It ain't anything they haven't seen on the internet. The real dirty jokes, an 8-year-old's going to go right over their head. They're going to get to see two might be the last time you see Wolverine on a big screen. God damn it, dropping pens left and right today. The goalie situation is a pretty big unknown at this point. 40 years and nothing. Nooms, there's been a problem in Philadelphia sports for a long, long, long time. Trotter with cramping after playing at Clemson, he should know how to hydrate. Yeah. I mean, well, they haven't confirmed that, Chuck, but it seems like that's what it is. Take a shot. Phil said poll. Actually, I said poll, P-O-L-L. Just so you know. It is an issue, Nooms. Yeah, the goalie situation. Since Hextall Part 1, we have had an issue with goalies. And I don't know why. And I'm hoping Briere and Jonesy start changing the philosophy on that and start figuring out how to fix that situation, but it's not good. Oh, okay. So it's the real band. It's not a cover band, but the majority of the band has been replaced. Gotcha. Wasn't what's his name the guitarist for Journey at one point? The guy from American Idol, Randy Jackson. Wasn't he in Journey, or what band was he in? What was he a guitarist for? Anyway, but I'm glad Adam had a good time with his SherryTickets.com tickets to see that concert. Do we like? Like a buzzing sound. Do we like going to Hershey Park for concerts? It's kind of annoying to me. It's like an hour and a half drive. Then you see the concert, and you got to drive all the way back. Been there for 2 Dave Matthews concerts, one Outlaw Music Festival tour stop. Been there like 3-4 times for concerts. I try not to go to Hershey for concerts. It's going to be good. Maybe, yeah. We'll see about that. Either the Kellen Moore offense is potent or the Eagles defense still can't defend teams that use motion. I love this comment. This new Eagles offense could actually help the defense get better because we're actually using motion on a regular basis. They're going to actually see it in practice, maybe know how to defend it. It's really crazy, mister, that the Eagles offense is further ahead than the defense, considering the offense is 95% new and offenses always are further behind than defenses earlier on in camps. Across the NFL, not just with the Eagles, always. And right now, the Eagles offense is head and shoulders outperforming the defense. Kind of crazy. And maybe a concern. He was one of the replacement-based players years ago. Okay, gotcha. I don't know my Journey. I'm not a huge Journey guy. Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Most overplayed song there is in commercials and entertainment. The Sopranos ruined that song for me. I mean, it was a great ending to The Sopranos. I love the ending of The Sopranos. But the music, it just, I don't know. That started overplaying it to me. Randy was in Journey for a minute. Oh, just for a minute. Okay. Phil won't even go downtown for an Eagles game. He probably wouldn't go to Hershey Park. I just won't. Funny story. One time, this was in late high school, early college. Went to Hershey to see a Dave Matthews concert. We pregame it before we even went up. And I had to stop along the turnpike or whatever main highway there is to relieve myself. And I passed out on the tree on the side of the highway. Oh, man. First rated R movie. I know the first movie I ever saw in movie theaters. This is going to date me. It's going to age me, guys. The first movie I went to was Batteries Not Included with James Earl Jones. I don't know what the first R-rated movie was that I saw. I'm really not sure. I feel like this franchise, other than a pandemic surge, has never recovered from Pronger's stick to the eye. That's an interesting perspective to look at it, Nooms, for sure. I mean, it was a big moment in Flyers history right there, for sure. Well, chocolate in general. I love chocolate. Passed out on a tree. I did, literally. And my friends left me there, and then they came back 5 minutes later for me because they thought I actually died against the tree. I was still standing up with my head on the tree, passed out, just so you know. I used to rage pretty hard back in the day. Not so much anymore, K1. I'm old and tired. Even just a couple mojitos. You saw my performance yesterday. A couple mojitos on an afternoon off, and I was slurring my words yesterday morning on this show. Today, I'm fine. But back then, man, it was nothing for me to rage like that, then show up to work and work a 14-hour restaurant shift the next morning. I absolutely agree with you there. The fact that all we talk about is new stadiums in Philly and moving them out of the complex instead of fixing the great complex parking flow and traffic flow drives me nuts, Adam. Drives me nuts. Here, I didn't do this, so we might get 2 or 3 minutes of overtime today because my rant of the day, the Skip Bayless hot take of the day. This is it today. We're going to end the show with the Skip Bayless take. So I got crushed yesterday. Luke Sawhook, good fantasy football guy that, I've watched his career rise, young kid, doing great work on social media. He put out something, I don't remember what he said about Kyler Murray. And I'm not a Kyler Murray fan. Now, Luke Sawhook has a large following. Large follower. And his followers love him more than you guys love me. But I just put out a tweet. Kyler Murray's overrated. His people attack me. I don't know ball. I don't know this. I don't know that. You probably don't like Justin Herbert either, if that's your opinion. Like, I don't like Justin Herbert. And I got attacked. Because if you don't, the people that feel that if they don't agree with your opinion, say that you don't know ball, it drives me nuts. Just because of a different opinion. I don't know football. Well, I don't know football. But my opinion is still my opinion. And it drives me nuts how much, not just how many people think Kyler Murray is this elite quarterback. What the has Kyler Murray ever done? He's got a 28-36 record in his career as a starter in the NFL. If Jalen Hurts had a 28-36 record, Jalen Hurts wouldn't be on the Philadelphia Eagles. If you accept mediocrity, you're going to get mediocrity. The fact that people use the answer, you don't know ball, when they don't agree with your opinion, instead of trying to explain why their opinion is what it is, pisses me off. It's stupid. It's dumb. Give me a reason. That's all I got for the rant for the day. What do I got? We got a boatload of comments here. I used to get in rated R movies. Yeah, I never had a problem. I always looked older than I was. Hershey schools. I love the graphic. I know. It's not that I don't like him. He's probably a nice guy. He just is an overrated quarterback who don't win shit. He's going to miss 3 weeks, Chuck. 3 weeks of practice, and I think it's a big loss for his development this season to start the season off. We got a new character, pregame. You don't want to see what pregame Phil was like. Pregame and Phil was a problem child back in the day. Kyler Murray's an Oompa Loompa. I don't even know if he'd qualify for that. Payless. It's not Payless. It's Payless. The recreational outrage market. Yep, absolutely. It's all opinion. It's like I tried to say earlier this week. Your opinions matter. It doesn't mean we have to agree on opinions. This is a safe place to discuss opinions. That's it. I find it funny. Murray hasn't done anything yet. They have already crowned him something. Same thing with Justin Herbert. If Jalen Hurts is going to the playoffs 3 straight years and taking the Eagles to a Super Bowl in his first 3 years as a starter, and he gets criticized. Just think about it. He gets criticized, all this. These other quarterbacks get put head and shoulders by every ranker out there, but have done jack shit in their career. Adam, I've been saying this for a long time, and I got kicked out of a fantasy league because people disagreed with my opinion on it. I don't know about that. Yeah. Oh, man. Hey, what's up, Emery? Go Birds, my man. Go Birds. Have you ever thought about doing a watch party for a game? I have. I thought about doing a wake and bake or a bake at night show. I thought about getting drunk on a show, doing shots on it. I thought of a lot of things to do, Mitchie Poo. But I'm already on the air far too much. Scarface, my dad was watching it. I still remember the first time I watched Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know which one it was. I snuck down and watched it. Had nightmares for days. Couldn't fall asleep for days on that one. 15-2 was a bold prediction. I don't know about that. But I think 12 wins is probably a very likely outcome. Duck, I bet the Cardinals wish they could trade him. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, with that being said, we got to start the wrap-up process here for the day. Hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe and follow button. What are we going to talk about next week, guys? More Eagles training camp, because there's more practice. We got to walk through today, practice, and then Sunday they get off. What are we going to learn this weekend from practice? Who's going to speak? What are they going to say? We're going to put out this poll later today. We'll recap the Wolverine Deadpool poll on Monday as well. Phillies, will they get the W in the series this weekend? We'll see. 11-6. I haven't made my prediction yet. Far too soon to make a prediction. But I'm guessing it'll be 11, 12, or 13 wins, Mitch. Somewhere in that range. Hey, it's good advice. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Go Birds. That's right. We'll say. I'll say that in a second. We don't work for money. We work for the freedom that money gives us. Like I missed it with deep dives on comments today. I love it. Hey, appreciate you, Adam. I do. Everybody have a great weekend. Guys, like, share, subscribe. We'll do record predictions in about 3 weeks. 4 weeks away from record predictions. We're not quite there at record predictions yet. Got to get all the information from practices, from camp, from preseason games, the final roster. Then we make predictions. But with that being said, guys, like, share, subscribe, follow. I'll be back Monday at 8 a.m. But there's, 9 shows this weekend on this channel. So stay locked and loaded right here on the Edge of Philly Sports, guys. For Edge of Philly Sports, I'm Phil Stiefel. Ring the bell. Go Birds. And bubbles up to you this weekend.